So, following my latest post on Twitter, how important is loyalty program this year? It's simple. Actually, with the increase of cost to acquire customers, cost of media, and as well find ways to get better retention and to get also that window where customers will have their next purchase in a shorter time than it used to be. A lot of brands have took the habits to go over 60, 90 days to recover, and even at a certain point 6 months to recover from their first time purchasers. So retentions now is more important than ever. Back when I used to work at Vanco, which is a business that produce 1,000 shows per year and festivals, and also part of Montreal's Canadian, I had the chance to work on the loyalty program, and at that time we were about to use Fortress GB platform. And one thing that was very important and why it has always been hard for some businesses, actually, I'm taking that as an example, to put a loyalty program in place is they usually don't have that kind of habits in terms of customers getting engaged or very engaged or doing something that will impact over the time. So engagement is lacking at a certain point. Now, when you're working with a business that has a lot of engagement or have already fans, that helps a lot in the process. That will multiply by itself and faster. And when you're looking at some softwares out there, they're making claims about this business just signed up with XYZ platform and we got this X of amount of results. It's because they already have engagement on their platform, on their website, on their businesses whatsoever. Now, when you're starting from scratch and you're a new business, it's going to be very, very hard to create that engagement right off the bat. It's going to be very hard to build a loyalty programs right from scratch because it might not be not in the habit of the customers by itself. It's not in the habit of the brands because there's literally no brand yet. It's fairly early in stage. So you have to get them into a process where they engage at start. So that's why when I say that there's no one fits all program, is it all starts with your audience. Whatever you're doing, either like you're selling like me coffee, you're selling apparel, you're selling wallets, you're selling whatsoever. There's an engagement form that needs to happen right from the start so you can create that funnel type of thing where people are going to get used to work with the brand and then it will be easier for them to pass what are you going to do to increase the engagement. Now, when we are listening to what is good or what is not good or what you should or what you not should do, that's where it comes tricky because there's person that will definitely put the attention on a certain strategy over another. But a lot of people will not talk about mixing those strategies together and how actually they complement themselves, you know? So if you are running, let's say, a point software, doesn't mean that a memberships program for retention is bad as well to run those two at the same time. But in some case scenario, that point software might not be the right fit for your brand, as in some case scenario, the membership program might not be. Sometimes both can work together and can only work together. And that's why when it comes to that point, you have to really, really to understand what's your end goal there and how your audience will work. So let me give you like a quick example. When we started our first loyalty program, I went through the most common, which was points. And The problem with points, we found out very fast, is actually that a lot of people, as engaged or taking actions that were going through, they were not redeeming their points. So on the cash, let's say, side of the business is great because they don't spend what you give them. It seems like good, but it is not, because they're just stacking to use those up to a certain point where they will get free. And which brings a kind of habits of some type of lower end customers where they're just there to do engagement and action, and they only get stuff when they're getting free stuff. Now there's a sub thing that is happening there. Some of those people actually, yes, they might not have the dollars, they might not have the need for those products often at others, but they can be great spokespeople where they're gonna just talk about how awesome the brand is, and they're gonna do some sort of eco about the brand, even if they're not buying a lot, which is some sort of a trade-off between those two things. Now, you have also the people that are highly engaged, the whales, let's say. Whatever you will do, they will engage with the brand. They will move where you move. So even like as a very small example, if you're building a community right off Facebook group and then you switch to Discord, they will move with you. There's other people that will never move with you. Actually, that brings to another point where sometimes those programs have the good and the bad. As like I said, there will be people will not use the points. They will just stack it and they will never use it. It's going to be left inside. And there's going to be people that will use it as a leverage for their next order as well. Now, those are kind of cohorts of type of people that will have a very different behavior based on what they do. Now, on the other side, let's say you're going to the extreme. So one thing we did after is we said, oh, you know what? The point system is complicated. I mean, there's not much more engagement once people hear the third tier, and people like just stacking stuff out there, and people don't really understand. There's nothing. Because one of the reason, and now I'm thinking back about that, is there was lacking some stuff in how we have imagined the program. Now, we have decided to move to 100% membership. We found out that when we launched the membership, we got mostly the whales. And then it stagnated at a certain point. It was very hard to get those lower end buyers, actually, the people that don't buy often. And there's another thing that happened during that time is by doing that exclusive membership, because we were removing the points, and even if we transferred credits, let's say of past dollars that were in points, and we moved that to the membership, what happened actually is we started alienating customers. Because customers now felt that, oh, why I'm not able to get also dollars, cash back? Why it's only exclusive for these people? So what is happening is you're not giving the same privilege to everyone, especially if you started that way. You started by giving them privilege. You remove them the privilege and push them to membership. I think that was a very bad transition we made. And I understand now why. But also that brings that another thing is if you're going fully on the membership side, you still need to have something for everyone. I think you need to find some sort of a balance. And one thing that is very important is you cannot compare yourself with what is available right now in the market. You cannot compare yourself with a Prime membership. You cannot compare yourself with a Costco membership. You cannot compare yourself to a Starbucks membership or whatsoever, These are totally different businesses. And their program is adapted in in that specific case, if you think about Prime, for $99 per year, what do you get access? You get so much stuff that you don't even know where to start. There's so much value getting there. So if you try to do like something as equal as them, it's not going to happen. That's why you have to think about how you're building it with your own reality. Your own reality is not the reality of the other brand you're trying to copy. You have to take time to think how you're gonna create the engagement first, because the engagement is very important. Then secondly, how you are going to create that dopamine that will make them continue to work, and where they're going to be rewarded for the actions, the orders, the whatsoever they're doing with you. Because at the end, you want to use that as a tool not to get necessarily more sales, but to create a community around your brand where they are going to get rewarded for that. So loyalty is not about dollars in necessarily or dollars out. It's not about creating, contribution margins to your business. Yes, it has an impact there, but it's much more about what I can do to create that engagement where people are going to have fun. They're going to feel part of the community. They're going also to feel that there's some sort of challenge going out between each other. And I think that is going to be the next step and next evolution in the loyalty programs. It's really where people are part of one thing and they're going to be able to challenge themselves, have fun, engage, and all this kind of thing. Same thing as game. That's why I think a lot of people have talked about gamification for the past couple of years without understanding the real gamification. And gamification is not only about games popping up of your website, doing wheels, spin the wheels, and all this kind of thing. No, it's about challenges. Challenges within the community, making engagement fun and not boring. And points and cashback are just an add-on to all of these. So, quick example of one thing we're trying to figure out how we're going to put that together, but treasure hunts. You're doing treasure hunts that are linked to your business, your online store. And you can go offline if you want. And if you're into retail, that's even better. So you can create like treasure hunts based on action, and that's going to create engagement. And from doing that, you can tell them, go here and there, collect this and that, send us pictures, and you're going to unlock this kind of reward, or you're going to get to the next level. This is fun and engaging, especially if you have a brand that has a whole universe around that you can build, And I think it can work also with any kind of products as well, from the most boring to the most fun as well. So the goal here now is to rethink the loyalty program, don't think about point, don't think about cashback, don't think about like those conversions, and think about how fun you can make things, and then think about the tools that can use that to support those kind of things. If you want to get a membership because it makes sense in your loyalty, great, go for it. If you want to get a subscription like us, we're coffee subscription. So what we're going to do is we're going to leverage the gamification around the subscription as well. What you're going to unlock when you get on subscription. When you get on the third products, we're going to delight the customers with some stuff you're going to be able to unlock. So it's exactly the same thing here. And the other thing also is like making this fun. Think about how fun it could be. So another thing we're doing, we're doing collectible mugs. So you unlock each of those mugs and you get, let's say that you get like 3 3 mugs, you get rewarded. You know, you get rewarded with, I don't know, with one thing. Could be a collectible coins now, because you got like those 3 mugs, you get a collectible coins. You get a silver ring. I don't know. You know, this is fun. This is really fun. And I think that I've been looking a lot in tokenization when NFT was fun, and I always wanted like to connect those collectible, virtual collectible items with physical items. And with gamification, you can do that as well. So thinking about all those kind of stuff that can Embrick, you know, put together, that's where you're gonna find a whole world going together, actually, you know, with your loyalty program, actually. So when you're going through, first of all, know your audience. That's number one. Okay, know what they would like. You know, if it's a niche that you are in, that they're more towards gaming or more towards straight cashback or more towards whatsoever. But think about, like I said, engagement. How you can engage your audience. Is there a possibility to create a community, you know, around that? So I'm taking Ridge wallets. You know, I have a Ridge here in my in my pocket. So let's take Ridge wallets. I mean, imagine create a loyalty program where you have challenges, treasure hunts, and all this kind of thing, where you can unlock, if you collect like those 3, you know, 3 different kind of wallet, unlocks you to the ultimate golden wallets, let's say, you know, and gives you access to a bunch of stuff. I mean, that is the kind of stuff that you can create with those kind of logic behind. Why at that time you would love to get a membership program there? Okay, that's a good thing, because you might want, let's say, premium service. You want to get accelerated like shipping. Okay, that's great. But those kind of features doesn't create engagement. You see, that's the difference. This is an extra bonus, you know, and you decide where you put it in your in the way you rank it. But that's why I've said, I mean, those two can live together with or without it. So yeah, I mean, that's globally the whole thing. I think I'm gonna do a part 2, because I think that there's a lot of people think about the softwares, what they should use. There's a bunch of great softwares out there, especially now. There's, like I've said, I mean, I have a feeling that people want to invest more either on the SaaS side and either like on the brand side. And I've worked with a bunch of, I've tested a bunch of, and I think that's going to be my next video, is just like to give you the insight about which one fits better and why they can either work together. Is there a solution that does it all, that can, you know, help you? Because at a certain point, I mean, like I said, I mean, on our side, we need a solution that does it all. But on the other side, you need probably a solution that does only one thing, and one very good thing. So that's going to be my next one. Hopefully you like that. You know, click like and share. I mean, that's my first video on this. So, I mean, go for it. Thanks, guys.